Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought we could do a little cook with me tonight. I'm making my cheesy chicken and rice dish, and I also wanted to add as a bonus onto this video to teach you how to do per gram macros. This is really helpful when you have a family full of people who might not be on the same journey as you and who aren't really worried about measuring or servings or anything like that. You won't have to worry about it either. All you have to worry about is measuring out however much you want of the recipe that fits into your macros. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I am going to get this ground chicken cooked up and drained, and then we'll meet back. All right, while I've got that on the stove browning, I am gonna take 2.5 cups of water and one of these Knorr tomato bouillon cubes. I'm gonna crush it up and dissolve it into the water. A little FYI, it doesn't really dissolve. The original recipe I used a long time ago said that it was supposed to dissolve. Mine never has. It's okay if yours doesn't either. It just needs to be mixed into the water. It makes it a lot easier when you go to add the rice later, which you'll see. All right, guys. Also, I am so sorry about the lighting. It's starting to get dark outside, and the fluorescents in my kitchen are very bright and very yellow. Next time I do a recipe, I'll try to do it earlier today. But I wanted to go ahead and get started on my explanation of how to find the per gram macros of a recipe. So if we're dealing with something that is a casserole style or anything that's going to be put in the oven to bake, what you want to first start off with is weighing whatever dish that you're going to use in grams, and then write that down. So this dish, I've used it so much in recipes, it's 1,632 grams is what this glass Pyrex weighs. So what I do is I either write that in my notes or I have a dry erase board on my refrigerator that I will write it down with. Also, same thing if you're using a crock pot. Go ahead and weigh your crock pot. Write that down as well. I don't usually weigh my crock pot at the end of recipes, which is what I'm going to explain later. I like to pour what is in my crock pot out and weigh it, but if you're willing to wait till it cools down, some scales can't have hot things weighed on them. Like when I use a casserole dish, I wait till it's cooled down pretty significantly and then weigh it. And that's just because my scale is super sensitive. But if you have one that's not, go ahead and do it while it's hot. But if you want to weigh your crock pot, then you need to weigh that beforehand. Now, when you're building a recipe, build it like you normally would. Add everything in, your chicken raw if you're doing a raw recipe. Everything is weighed the same exact way. The only thing that we're changing is in your recipe builder, you have a spot to where it says how many servings. That is the only thing we are messing with doing this process. So instead of putting like 6 servings, what I like to do is build my recipe and put 1 serving and then save it until everything is done cooking. So when everything is done cooking, what you're gonna do is, if you're using a crock pot, I pour mine into a bowl and weigh it. But if you're gonna use it and weigh the crock pot, you will take the crock pot out, set it on your scale, weigh it in grams, and then subtract what the weight of the crock pot was. And that gives you how many grams of food is in the crock pot. You will then use that number as your serving size. So say chicken spaghetti. I made chicken spaghetti so much in the crock pot. Chicken spaghetti, when it's cooked and I pour it out of my crock pot, comes out to 1,532 grams. So in my servings, which I will also insert a screen record of how I do it in my Fitness Pal, but I will put 1,532 in the servings. And you will see that calorie per serving go down to 1. And that is because now when I dip out however much I need in the servings, I will put, like if I get 150 grams out, I will take 150 servings of it. As well as if you're doing a casserole, when it comes out, and if yours needs to cool, let it cool, weigh the casserole dish in grams. subtract what the glass pan weighed, and that gives you what is in there. Like lasagnas, everything, it'll give you how many grams of the actual food is in there. And that will then, again, go back into your servings. And that will help you when, say you have some lasagna, but you only have like this sliver of lasagna left, and you're like, I need to figure out how many calories this is. You would just weigh out your sliver, and that would give you the calories for the little sliver of lasagna. Same thing with anything that has to do with chilies, soups. It is so much easier to do anything that is liquid-based, chili, soup, stuff like that, when you're doing the per grams. Also with chicken spaghetti, like I have mentioned before, I don't mix my noodles in. I cook those day of, because some days I might want more chicken, you know, with my noodles, or I might want more noodles. I can do that now because I know the per grams of the recipe, the macros per grams of the recipe, excuse me. So just try it out, play around with it. I will also, like I said, insert a screen recording so that you can also follow along with what I'm saying. And also, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I can also help you with that as well. But now we need to get back to our chicken that's cooking. Okay, now back to the chicken. You want to make sure that your chicken is pretty broken up. That's the way my family likes it. If you like it a little chunkier, you can. The original recipe actually calls for cubed up chicken breast. I like ground chicken better. I'm not a big fan of chicken breast sauteed in the pan. I either want it cooked or I either want it grilled on the grill or I want it shredded in like a crock pot. I'm not a big diced chicken person. So ground chicken, and then I'm gonna turn it back on. I turned it off because, you know, camera movement. But I'm gonna put it back on medium high. I'm then gonna add my water and tomato bouillon mixture. And then my rice, which I'll have everything in the description, you know, the measurements and stuff. So don't worry about that. Also, turn away. That's how we open it around here. I know it's not good for my teeth. Don't judge me, but I just didn't feel like walking all the way over there, you know? All right, so we're gonna add that in there. We're gonna give it a good stir. And then we want to bring it to a boil. Once it's at a boil, let it boil for 1 minute, cover it, and then turn it all the way down. On my side, I hate when people say medium high, medium low, simmer, blah, 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 blah. Mine is at 6 right now. So when it comes to a boil, which I'm gonna bump it up to 8, when it comes to a boil, I'm gonna let it boil for a minute. Stir it, put my lid on it, and then I'm gonna turn it down to 2. Mine goes low and then 2. I'm gonna turn it to 2, and my daughter is hitting my camera, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna turn it down to 2, and then I'm gonna let it simmer for 20 minutes. And then after the 20 minutes, we'll come back and we'll talk about how we're gonna weigh it and do everything, and I'll show you how we top it. All right, guys, it's been 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little, turn it completely off. You can see what it looks like. Alright, guys, and there is the final product. I wish y'all could smell how good this smells. This is one of my family's favorite recipes. I know I said that about the Frito pie, but this is another good one that we all enjoy. Now I'm going to show you how to weigh this up and how to put it in your recipe builder in MyFitnessPal and track the per gram macros. Let's get into it. All right, guys, this is like the 1,000th time that I've tried to say this stuff. I'm getting so tired because I'm tired, I'm hungry, and shred brain. So I'm gonna try to go through this really quickly. But this is the container that I'm gonna store the chicken and rice in for the week. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my scale. I've got my scale right here. I'm gonna put the bowl on there. Make sure to turn it on, zero it out, so that with the bowl on there, it is 0. And then I'm gonna go grab my chicken and rice. So all I'm gonna do is pour my chicken and rice into my bowl. All right, you guys, I went ahead and flipped you around so I could show you exactly what I was seeing on my end so it would make sense to you. I have the bowl that I zeroed out, and then I put my chicken and rice in the bowl, and it's coming out to roughly 1101 to 1102. It keeps switching back and forth. I'll probably take the higher number and put 1102 as my serving size. But anyway, I'm going to jump now into showing you the screen recording of how I'm going to put that into MyFitnessPal and how it's going to track. And then I'm going to show you how I assemble my dinner. All right, you guys, and there you have it, my chicken and rice. I have my cheese dip on top, 40 grams, 30 grams of these little Tocino bite-sized rounds. I've got my hydro jug, don't worry about that, hashtag kiddos. But if you wanted to spice this up, I'm just kind of a plain Jane person when it comes to this. But you could literally do whatever you were gonna do with a burrito bowl, a taco salad, anything like that, and add it to it. Sour cream, lettuce, tomatoes, hot sauce, jalapenos, you name it, would be absolutely delicious in this chicken and rice bowl. It is so, so good, and I hope that y'all try it out. All right, you guys, I'm here to end the video. I know, tragic, but I hope you enjoyed coming and cooking with me, and also my little tutorial on how to find the program macros of a recipe. I hope you're able to try it out. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. And also while you're down there, just leave me a comment in general. I would love to talk with y'all. I love conversating with people. If you do try this recipe, tag me on Instagram at Danielle's Journey, TikTok at Danielle's Journey, and also you can just DM me on Instagram as well. So I would love to hear from you, but always like, subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on your post notification bell so that we can get this thing rolling. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.